You know, I hear a lot of people talk about needing to pray that God moves in this world, and that's a good prayer. We need to pray that He moves in the world, and that's true. I hear people praying for Him to move in our nation, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need God to move in our nation. I hear people praying for God to move in a community, and that's good, because without God, our communities are hurting and lost and broken. I hear people praying for God to move in our families. But we want so much to have a great move of God. But I've begun to realize that the greatest miracle that He could ever do is for me to go to God and say, Lord, change me. Because if He can take me and make me into a man that loves like Him, talks like Him, serves like Him, has compassion like Him, then that truly is an incredible miracle. Imagine if you and I come to the Lord and say, God, change me. I want to obey You in everything. I want to love like You love. I don't want my life to be filled with frivolous things that will not matter for eternity. I want You to take eternity and make that in my mind and in my vision every second of every day. That when we as believers would begin to cry out in the midst of chaos in our world, in the midst of chaos in our nation, maybe even in the midst of chaos in our families, when we would say, yes, Lord, I need You to move in those things, but Lord, let it begin right here. It's how Paul, in one of his later letters, could write down, I, Paul, chief of all sinners. That the closer he got to the Lord, the more he realized that the greatest miracle of all is when God can take one person and completely make him or her into a new creation. And for so long we even pray as if we are fine and everybody else needs changed. When we would humble ourselves and say, Lord, change me, make me like You, Jesus, I truly believe then and only then will we begin to see revival and true change in our communities and in our nation and in our world. So I want to challenge you today, as God has challenged me. Lord, without You, I am nothing. Lord, I ask You to do a miracle in my life. Change me. And allow Him to speak to us today regarding that. God bless you.